So Earth Week versus Earth Day gives us a chance to, really get into environmental justice and environmental sustainability over a longer duration of time. Earth Day simply isn't enough time. It needs to be Earth Year. It needs to be Earth Decade. It needs to be Earth Millennium, right? So, when it comes to, galvanizing people, getting them in one spot so they can talk to many professionals about environmental justice and environmental sustainability, that's what Earth Day is about to me. That's what Earth Week is about to me. It gives me a chance to get out into the community. Well, actually, I don't have to get out into the community. Everybody's coming to one particular spot, right? And we're engaging and we're talking amongst people who have expertise, amongst the many, just the whole range of environmental sustainability. Right? Well, I have two particular lanes in environmental justice right now. Now, believe it or not, property ownership and land acquisition is very important. I know, when it comes to environmental justice, it's hard to connect that, but I'll get into as to why that's very, very important. My other lane is urban agriculture. We got to understand exactly where our food is coming from. Now, another thing is this: urban agriculture, truly mitigates the very toxic mass agriculture industry. People don't know. Rural agriculture is one of the most toxic industries in the world right now. And as long as we are unconsciously contributing to it and not getting into the modes of being very cognizant of where our food is coming from, the processes that it's going through, all of this stuff not only affects our health, but it also affects our environment, which inevitably affects our health. Now, going back to real estate, listen, when it comes to environmental justice, if you don't own and control your environment, it becomes very, very difficult. Believe me on this. It becomes very, very difficult to truly mitigate outside forces that are affecting your environment. And the key point is, particular industries or particular companies that they may own real estate in your community, but they don't live there. They don't have a beneficial interest in your community. So when you own and control it, your voting power is greater, and everything else that you can do to truly have, represent your stake in your community. So first, let's tackle Tico first. That's who we tackling, period. Listen, when it comes to environmental justice, in these very particular instances like this, what we have to understand as a community is this: that there is precedence already out here where companies are being fined, they're being litigated based on these crimes. When you look at it like that, now, mind you, of course, we would have to look into it and see exactly what the ramifications were, see exactly what the particulars were. But when it comes to our community see mobilizing, and then collaborating with litigation teams, that's very, very important. So when you see a situation like this, when Tico is cutting off power in very dire situations, and you have a whole slew of ramifications after that, health and otherwise, somebody needs to be held accountable. We have a fairly decent legal system in this country. We have to utilize it. There are, again, litigation teams out there who specialize in this. Me and you both know this, Walter, that right now as we speak, some company, somewhere is committing some environmental injustice right now as we speak. Me and you both know that it's gotten so bad over the years that many of them have money set aside just to get ready to settle, because they know they BSing. They know they are right here in the moment. So when we see situations like this, especially talking about Tico, we have to bring that to the light. We just can't let that slide. The moment we shed any kind of litigation light on it, this is when you start to get the results that you want. Now, will it be cut and dry? No, but you have to start the process sooner than later. Will we get exactly what we want to get out of Tico in this situation? Probably not exactly. But what we do is we set a standard and a precedence for any other situation like this that may come down the pipe later. That's my take on how we deal with companies like this who do what they do, have little regard for the community, and they just get off the hook. mobilizing our community so we can be in shape to collaborate with other communities, because it's going to take everybody, is simply this: we have to spread that information. A lot of people simply don't know that the process of harvesting gas is practically the same process as harvesting fossil fuels. It has the same carbon footprint, right? Or virtually the same carbon footprint. But we want pure, clean energy. That's what we want for our future, for our babies, right? We don't want to leave a legacy of respiratory illnesses which are going to inevitably, contribute to every. Well, actually, what we see in the Black community today, most illnesses are a direct result of environmental toxicity. A very direct result. A lot of people don't, think that it's, particular habits that we have, but for the most part, it's what we consume: air, water, and food. Every single one of those basic resources that we need by the second, that we need by the week, that we need by the hour, they're being affected and controlled by very capitalistic organizations, right? So that's what we have to understand. We have to understand the actual source of it, so we're not just attacking leaf and stem issues. We have to attack it at the root. Okay. This has been Andre Hill Jr. with Urban Progress Alliance, here with Walter Smith Jr. talking about the most pressing issue on the planet: